Don't buy Bitcoin, buy stacks. In this video, I'm going to talk about why you could potentially get more gains if you buy stacks instead of Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the history of stacks, the roadmap, what Tim Draper said, the large investor, one of the most successful investors. Also, we're going to look at stacks on the daily. What are some good entry and exit levels? Let's get right in. Stacks is up to $1.55, an absolute massive breakout from about $1.12. Now, stacks, what's important? The founders, Ryan Shea, the co-founder, and Munib Ali, also the co-founder. Now, why is a founding team so important? Well, somebody's got to clear the roadmap, right? Ryan Shea, the co-founder, this is his LinkedIn page. He's been working on stacks for over 10 years. Was in entrepreneurship at Y Combinator, one of the largest platforms for entrepreneurs, and also has a bachelor in computer science from Princeton University. Now, his partner, Munib Ali, the co-creator and CEO of Stacks. So he's been a board member at Hero Systems, also the co-creator, been with Stacks since 2017. And this man has a PhD in computer science from Princeton. So big brains over at Stacks. Now, here's their website. What is Stacks? What does it do? It is a layer 2 for Bitcoin builders specifically, and this is their website, stacks.co. So a few things we're going to hone in on: proof of transfer, Bitcoin DeFi, and Bitcoin NFTs. So here is what Stacks is looking to do, bringing NFTs to Bitcoin. We know that ordinals have been a massive success, and it's also bogged down the network. Well, Stacks is looking to fix that. Because of the relationship between Stacks and Bitcoin, NFTs created on Stacks settle to and are secured by the Bitcoin mainnet. Bitcoin DeFi is a large untapped market given Bitcoin's nearly $1 trillion market cap and increasing institutional adoption. Stacks is uniquely positioned to enable true Bitcoin DeFi, not decentralized, but not centralized, but actual DeFi. The Stacks chain is tethered to Bitcoin through its proof of transfer consensus mechanism. So all Stacks transactions settle on the Bitcoin layer 1. Now, unlocking Bitcoin capital. So this is the proof of transfer. Very, very unique. I want to go over a few things here. As part of this proof of transfer mining process we have covered here, a hash of each Stacks block is recorded to the OP return code of a Bitcoin transaction. This is how Stacks record its history to the Bitcoin chain and why it inherits some security as a result of this process. If you wanted to try and create a false Stacks fork, you would have to broadcast the entire process to the Bitcoin chain. Similarly, if you wanted to try and change the history of the Stacks chain, you would have to somehow modify these OP return values in each corresponding Bitcoin block, meaning you would pretty much have to compromise the Bitcoin network to compromise the history of Stacks. That is what makes Stacks truly unique, is it being tethered to the most decentralized, secure network in the world, and that is Bitcoin. So if the answer is no, we don't think Bitcoin can get attacked and shut down, same can be said for Stacks. Additionally, part of this proof of transfer process involves each Stacks block also knowing which Bitcoin block it is anchored to. Clarity, which is Stacks smart contract language, has built-in functions for reading this data, such as get block info, which returns, among other things, a field called burn chain header hash, which gives us the hash of the Bitcoin header corresponding to the Bitcoin block. So extremely integrated. This allows us to do really interesting things like trigger certain things that happen in a Clarity contract by watching the chain and verifying whether or not certain transactions occurred. You can see this in action in catamaran swaps with other interesting projects like Zest seeking to expand on this functionality. So think of Stacks as an extension, a direct extension of Bitcoin, not just another layer 2 built on top of the network. Now, what are some things as far as ecosystem? We have DAOs, DeFi, NFTs, social, and others. So this is a continuously growing ecosystem. Also, as far as the Stacks roadmap, we're going to get into this one a little bit, the Stacks 2.0, the latest network upgrade. But here's where we are in their roadmap. The Nakamoto release, which will bring the network faster transactions, 100% Bitcoin finality, and pave the way for Stacks BTC, which will open up a gateway of liquidity to do things such as staking these tokens and earning the money. Now, Stacks 2.1, strengthening the connection to Bitcoin. Why is this so important? According to this article from stacks.org, Stacks 2.1 can enable more efficient Bitcoin yield via stacking, making bridges to other networks more robust, simplify the ways developers can link and trigger interactions between Stacks and Bitcoin, and lay some helpful groundwork for subnets, which can bring additional speed and scalability to the network when launched. Big things coming to Stacks. No wonder it is pumping. Speaking of pumping, we have a direct potential reason why, and that is none other than avid and legendary investor Tim Draper. And this is what he had to say about Stacks in an interview that he did yesterday. He said, quote, "I'm really excited about Stacks. Most of what I've been investing in have been things that start to move the important applications over to Bitcoin. So I think that's a really interesting trend, and we're thinking it's going to go the way Microsoft did." So he's essentially comparing Stacks to Microsoft. And well, if you haven't been around for a while, Microsoft is one of the top companies in the entire world with a massive market cap. Now, Stacks, let's take a look at some tokenomics. Love the tokenomics of Stacks. 1.8 billion maximum supply. Now, this is important. You'll see total supply, right, has a certain amount, and then max supply will say nothing or infinite. That means they can continue to print more tokens. With Stacks, there is a hard cap, just like on Bitcoin. 1.8 billion is all that will ever exist, with 78% of it already circulating. 1.42 billion already circulating. So this is great from an investment standpoint, especially if you are a long-term investor of Stacks, currently sitting at a total market cap of $2.2 billion. We believe this thing can get to over $200 billion in market cap if the roadmap comes to fruition and they unlock everything that Bitcoin currently cannot do. Now, Stacks as an investment, again, they have raised a lot of money. They've raised through Piper Fund, through an IEO, seed funding. Some of their big strategic partners include Hashkey Capital, Spartan Group, Fundamental Labs. They did have a $50 million private token round back in 2017, led by Blockchain Capital. And here you go, the Y Combinator. This is a big name in entrepreneurship and VC startups. Another funding round back in January of 2017, a little smaller, 4 million, and then a seed round as well. Some of the tokenomics here, guys, 22.2% of their allocated tokens are for their treasury, 16% to their Series A, 13% to their private round, 13.5 to founders, and 34.93 to other. Now, typically you look at this and you say, okay, we're at about what, 45, 50% to seed investors and founders and whatever this other is. That would normally be an issue, but since 80% of the supply is already circulating, less of an issue. Now, you want to get into Stacks. The market is absolutely pumping. I have some good news. We might see some short-term resistance on Stacks. This is Stacks. On the weekly, we saw a massive break above this resistance level of right around $1.18. We are currently sitting at $1.55. I am looking for Stacks to get rejected or test this resistance line right at about $1.70. At $1.70. Now, when it does hit $1.70, where can we expect Stacks to go? So let's go ahead and take this tool here we have, and let's do a retracement. So these are the Fibonacci retracement levels. And a level I'd be looking at is this 0.5 level, which puts us right at $1. Will Stacks ever get back to $1? Who knows? But if it does, guess what? I am buying. Now, I said you should buy Stacks and not Bitcoin. I know that sounds crazy, but I have a reason why. Take a look here at Stacks. I'll get rid of this. We look at Stacks compared to Bitcoin. Over the last 1 year, Stacks has outpaced Bitcoin by almost 5x. So not only by investing in Stacks are you, by proxy, investing in Bitcoin, but this thing has a lot more room to run. It's got a lot of ground to make up to really get in line with Bitcoin's network and where Bitcoin is at in market cap. Of course, we recommend, it's not financial advice, but hold both. But if you had to pick one and you got a smaller portfolio, Stacks just might be the better way to go. We hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure to come check out our live show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe, like the video on your way out. We'll see you next time.